welcome to my channel. My name is Reagan May, and today we are going to be talking about 2023 goal setting, reflection, goal setting, and just getting ready to get into this new year. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very excited for a new year. 2022 was filled with a lot of not so great things and a lot of life changes and great things. Today in this video, I wanted to reflect on the year and show y'all how I reflect on the year and the process of doing that, and then also going over how I set my goals and just chit chat about my goals for the year and give y'all some inspiration or just thought-provoking ideas. Really quickly before we get in, I would love it if you would comment down below one good thing that you are proud of and one goal that you have going into 2023. I would love to know those from y'all. So without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, so before we set goals for 2023, we need to stop and reflect on 2022. So reflection is so important because this is a time where you get to be honest. You get to see who you are, who you've become in the last year, what direction you want to go in order to change your habits and your circumstances. And in order to be who you want to be, you first have to be aware and acknowledge who you are now, your habits, your circumstances, routines, your identity, your values. You have to know those things in order to move forward, because you either need to change them or you need to help cultivate whatever path you're on, if that makes sense. So in my reflection, I wrote down who I want to be, things that got in my way, some good habits, some bad habits that I have, and I just filled out some basic reflection questions that a lot of people do for the new year. I wanted to mention the quote John Mark Comer once said, that when we become Christians, we are given a new identity as children of Christ, as followers of Christ. That while we are given this new identity, we have to grow into this new identity and we have to learn. And so our day-to-day habits, our routines, what path we are on is either directing us and cultivating a life that is based in this identity, or it is pulling us away and it is taking us away from that. So right now is a big point where I can stop and I can say, am I cultivating that? Am I pushing myself into the identity I want, or have I gotten a little bit off track right now? The first thing that I like to write out and reflect on is just basic. It's who I want to be. Right now, who do I want to be? But the first thing that I wrote down of who I want to be is I want to be a loving and connected person. I found myself in 2022 withdrawing and getting more annoyed with people than loving people. I just wanted to be in my own space. I wanted to be left alone, and it was in an unhealthy way where I was just withdrawing because it was easier to not deal with people. But in 2023, I want to be a person that is loving, that stops and is patient with people, that picks up the phone when people need, that is a good friend, and that has a community around me. I think COVID and the digital age have shown that it is not healthy for us, and we are called to be in community, to be in relationship with people. And I just want people to be my first priority, and loving people, and kind of back off of withdrawing and living a more selfish lifestyle. The second thing I want to be is I want to be someone who is passionate about seeking God, who can say, I sought the Lord with my whole heart. I can't say that I was passionate or that I sought the Lord with my whole heart this past year, and obviously this is a journey and we are learning. The third identity that I want to have, the person that I want to be, is a person that is productive and motivated. Again, in 2022, I was very foggy and I was just kind of like living life the way that it took me. I am ready to be a person that is motivated, that is being intentional about my life, and again, taking control of the things that I can take control of and cultivating the lifestyle that I want to have. The fourth person that I want to be, the identity I want to have, is someone that is slow and present. Everything in the world, the chaos of the world, is trying to get us to just go, go, go. And I love putting this in my goals because goals are looking at the future. They are looking at who you want to be, but they are a tool to help you in the present. And so it's just a reminder that while I want to be this person, I also just want to live my day-to-day life in the moment and who I am, and stop focusing on just the end. So that is who I want to be in 2023. and I'm so excited to learn and grow. It's not to say that I have to be those things perfectly. That is just who I want to be working on being. Next thing is I like to reflect on what has gone in the way. What's gotten in the way of me being who I want to be? And the biggest thing is fear. With my walk with God, it's just the fear of me needing to prove my love to God. I think a lot of people struggle with that, and it's just really holding me back from actually growing in my relationship with Him and flourishing with Him. Also, just the fear of not knowing what I want to do and just normal everyday fears. I've just let them take over my mind this year, and they have really held me back. The second thing that has held me back is wanting to be who I used to be. I've had a lot of life changes, a lot of things have happened, and I got engaged and married, I got sick, I changed my degree, I went online college, I moved back home, and I felt like a completely different person, and I was stuck in that for a little bit because I wanted to be the old, extroverted, outgoing, motivated Reagan, and it was holding me back trying to be who I used to be instead of just trying to be who I am now and learning how to maximize that new person. The third thing that really held me back was simply my brain fog, which that was kind of a circumstantial thing. My health issues give me a lot of brain fog, and it was really hard to be motivated and to think and to like do school and do anything in life. Having a headache and having brain fog really hold a person back. And I wanted to mention this because sometimes things that hold us back are life circumstances, and that's okay. It's okay to be held back a little bit. It's just getting back on the horse and continuing and kind of picking it back up. So that was just a circumstance that kind of put my life on pause a little bit. That did hold me back, but it also grew me in a lot of ways. Okay, so only two more things for my reflection. The next thing I like to reflect on is what are good things that happened / what am I proud of? So the first good thing that happened was my relationship with Aaron. It grew so much in 2022. Me and Aaron just learned a lot about each other, about our faiths, about ourselves and our relationship, and I really truly can say our relationship is the healthiest it's ever been, and we got married, and so that is obviously a good thing. Our relationship and just what it's gone through in this past year has been such a blessing and such a good thing, and honestly one of the best things of the year while everything was kind of going crazy and wrong for a little bit. The second thing that I am proud of is starting my YouTube. I have been wanting to start a YouTube for so long, and I finally got the courage to do it. It's been so good for me, so good for my creativity, my mind, my health, and the people in my life have been so supportive. So I'm really proud of that, and I feel like it was just a good thing. The third good thing that I see in 2022 is that we were so surrounded by our family. And I talk about how I was very separate and disconnected from people, but I feel like what got me out of that was moving back home and being around my family and realizing how good it is to have people that support you, whether it's family or friends. Last thing I like to do with my reflection is write down my hopes for 2023. And with this, I try to do like just little words or phrases. So my first hope is balance. I really want to live a more life of balance, especially in my faith. The next hope is passion. I've said this over and over again. I want to be passionate again, and I want to be passionate about the Lord and about my work and about my family and my marriage and just everything like that. The next thing that is a hope for 2023 is routine and habit formation. I'm so excited to get more into routines and goal settings and fixing my habits. I've been reading Atomic Habits, and it's been so good, and I've enjoyed it a lot. It's cultivating that lifestyle that I want to have, and I've loved doing that. The last hope that I have for 2023 is connectedness. Whether that's building a community here on YouTube or just the people in my life, finding friends, going to things, tapping more into my extroverted side again, and just loving people again. So that is my reflection on 2022. I know that was kind of long, but those are some prompts that you can use, and I kind of just wanted to share that with y'all. Okay, so now it is time to talk about my goals for 2023. So my yearly goals are overarching like goals and intentions. They're not as specific, And I do this because I then do my monthly resets and my monthly goals where I break them down more in like specific and action plan form to achieve my yearly ones. So if you want to see more specific ones each and every month and see how I keep up with it, make sure to subscribe so you can see those monthly resets. What I did was I broke it down into different categories, and then with each category I wrote an intention. Like, this is what I want out of my finances, this is what I want out of my relationships, and then I wrote a few goals with each one. I want to mention that I'm going to be doing a 2023 financial goal specifically because this channel is a little more focused on finances, and I'm gonna break down how I'm gonna get there. So how I'm gonna save $10,000 for a car and $10,000 for an emergency fund, how I am going to implement a financial routine, and just kind of breaking down more into action plans. So if you want to see that, make sure to stay tuned for that. It will be coming in the next few weeks. My next goal category is relationships, and my main intention is just that I want to be more connected with people and intentional with my relationships. The first goal is to find joy in people and find joy in being with people again, because I used to love being with people. I used to be an extrovert, and I have since then lost that joy. I would rather stay home and do nothing. And I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm not saying being introverted is bad or wanting to stay home every once in a while is, but when someone asks me to hang out and I'm annoyed every time, that is a me issue, and that's not the way that I want to live my life. And so I want to find joy in saying yes. I want to find joy in hanging out with people again. My next relationship goal is for my marriage, and it is to date my husband. Me and Aaron were awful at dating when we were dating, and so we have a new goal of going on 2 date nights a month, one like nicer one and one just like fun, like cheap, maybe free one. So that is my relationship goals. The next category is health. And so my intention with health is to listen to my body and learn more about my body and do the things that I can control. So a lot of things with my health were out of my control, but I also wasn't doing the things that I can control to make myself better. The next goal is to find a workout routine that I can be consistent in and then find joy in working out. I want to find a routine that I enjoy doing and that I want to do because my body wants to be active. It wants to have movement. My mind doesn't, if that makes sense. So maybe finding one that I can be consistent in. The next goal for my health is to fix my diet. I am like the world's worst. I eat a ton of sugar. I am addicted to sugar. So all around, I want to help myself feel better by fixing my diet. I want to eat less sugar, drink less caffeine, and also have a little less histamines in my diet. And the last thing for my health is that I want to learn more about my condition and just more about my hormones. So I want to learn more about POTS, which is my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome that I have, and I feel like I don't even know that much about it, and I have it. So I would like to read some books and also learn more about my hormones, because I actually just got on the progesterone shot, and that's kind of controversial with people, but I don't plan on being on it a long time, and I want to do more natural family planning, and I want to know how to help my hormones be in the right balance. I can be more just in tune with my hormones and know more about them. I think that's really good for women to do, and we're not really pushed to do that very much. The next area is personal development and just lifestyle. My intention with this is to be motivated to maximize my life. That is what my channel here is all about, but just finding the motivation to cultivate the life I want. The first goal is to create routines, habits, and systems. So I have started to do this, but this is very new to me, and so my goal is to be more of a kind of habit person. The next thing is I want to implement monthly goals and resets. Again, I started doing this, but this is just a goal so that I am more aware and consistent with going in the direction I want to go. And if I get off track, maybe it'll help me get back on track sooner instead of being off track for 6 months or something. The next goal is to read more and to learn more. And with this, I have a goal in this, my intellectual goal, which is I want to pick like 1 or 2 topics that I want to learn about this year, and really just like apart from school, apart from my faith, apart from all of that, I just want to read more books. And so the main things that I want to learn about is finance and more about psychology. My next goal is simple. It's get more sleep this year. Sleep is so important for you, your mind, your health, your spirit, and everything. So that's a goal. I want to be cleaner. I'm not a clean person, but recently I have found that I really want to be a homemaker. I want to have a space that me and my husband really love and create a home and create a clean space for us. And obviously I want to be more of a minimalist as well. I've talked about that a little bit. So I want to fix my cleaning habits and have a cleaner space. My last section is my spiritual goals, and I have a ton. I'll just say a few, but my intention behind my spiritual goals and my spiritual life is passion and balance. So my first goal is to learn more about spiritual disciplines, and I plan on doing like focusing on a spiritual discipline for a month. So things like silence and solitude, fasting, prayer, stuff like that. The next thing is to just bring balance into my spiritual life, whatever that means. I don't like to be too specific on my spiritual goals because I find that a big portion of it is trusting in the Lord and allowing Him to lead you where you need to go. So what balance means, I don't really truly know, but what I do know is that I either have lived so in my spiritual world that I've had a hard time living in the like current world, like being productive and doing stuff like that, or the other way around. I've been so focused on my productivity and my life here on earth that I've let my spiritual life drop, and I want those to be more in balance and be more meshed into each other this year. The next thing I want to work on is just healing from the fogginess that happened last year and just being more clear and confident in truth and healing the lies and the fogginess and stuff like that. I think 2023 is going to be a big year of healing and seeing more clearly again, and I'm excited about that. The next goal is for my focus to be on God and His gospel more than me and my life and my works. So I find that we become selfish in our walks with God because we're selfish people, because we're human, but I want to switch my focus because what I've been doing hasn't necessarily worked per se. Like I just end up falling off the bandwagon, getting tired, and not doing it for months, and then I try again, and it's just a cycle. And I feel like it's because I've been so focused on myself and how I can serve the Lord instead of just focusing on who God is, what the gospel means, and just following what He's telling me to do. So yeah, that is my goals for the year, and I'm so excited for them. My next step in my planning process is to set up Notion, where I will be keeping up and planning my months, weeks, and days out in order to keep up with my goals and actually achieve them. And I also want to set up better habits and routines and systems in my life, but I'm not going to be talking about that today. I will be talking about that in future videos, in monthly resets, and that's a lot of what my channel will be about, so stay tuned if you want to see more about that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this gave you some inspiration or encouragement to set your goals for 2023. Remember, they are tools. They are not your identity. They are not your values. I hope that you have a lovely day and a lovely year. I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.